All right, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, former East Carolina pitcher, current pitcher for the Down East Bird Dogs, Danny Beal. Danny, how's it going?
What's going on, J-Bone? You're in the captain's chair this week, huh?
Yep, I'm the captain now. Clip Brock heading to New Jersey right now, so I'm taking over.
There you go.
Yeah, good stuff. I don't even know where to start. I guess we'll start with ECU Baseball. Two new transfers this week: pitcher from West Virginia, and an infielder from South Florida, conference rival, Carlos Jacob, something
There
like
you go.
that. What do you think about those transfers?
I mean, they're certainly working on the portal. I told Clip last week when I was on that you can't say that they're not doing their job. They're pretty diligent, pretty active in the portal right now. I mean, you're getting that West Virginia kid who's mid to upper nines. It's very projectable, big kid. Um, I'm pretty. It's pretty on the surface level for me in terms of both of those guys. Like just hitting for average, knows how to play in the American, and then obviously a kid that has the ability and the kid from West Virginia because you see him played the Big 12. Like I said, projectable and has the opportunity to be really good, especially under AK's tutelage.
Yeah, I've been reading it. It's like he struggled last year, but you look at his numbers, doesn't really look like much of a struggle. Had a great 2024. Like they said, they struggled in 2025. So I'm interested to see what he does. I like the bullpen depth, the infield depth. I think those were the two on the wish list heading into the portal. So I'm happy with what they've got so far, and yeah, happy to see. Looking forward to see what they do. But Danny, where are you at right now?
We're in Mississippi actually right now. It's insanely hot. One more thing I wanted to add about the pitching depth though is I've seen like Jonathan Wagner and I go on Twitter talking about this. The bullpen depth now, with the way they've been adding, is going to be. I mean, they've replenished everything and even added some from last year.
Yeah,
With Ethan leaving, with Brad leaving, all this stuff, they've actually committed one guy from Lenore Ryan that J Dub and I played summer ball with. Gosh, the summer of 2022, if you can believe that.
yeah.
I don't know how he's still in college, but he's a stud. He was turned it on this past year with really good stuff, and it's happy to see him obviously in the East Carolina uniform. But yeah, very happy with the bullpen additions. But yes, we're in Mississippi right now. We're playing here the rest of the week. We already got a couple games under our belt, and yeah, hot, really hot.
How are y'all doing right there in Mississippi right now?
Not bad. I just walked to breakfast, and I'm walking by. There's a vast pro shop that I'll show you guys if I can get to it before we finish up here. But no, it's good. We're playing at the old Mississippi Braves Stadium because they moved this past year to Gwinnett, and the indie ball team here moved into their stadium, which is really nice. And I was texting AK a while ago, telling him that, hey, we're playing in Mississippi. Is this anywhere close to where you grew up? Because he's from Mississippi, and I told him the stadium where we're playing at. He's like, "Oh yeah, I won 4 state championships in that stadium." I was like, "Okay, subtle flex, nice, not
Yeah,
bad."
not trying to brag, but
Yeah, exactly. I sent him a video. What was it, Tuesday? And he's like, "Yeah, I'm undefeated in that stadium." Not to brag. I was like, all right, but it's just yeah, it's cool. It's a cool stadium, cool area. Like I said, the only downfall is that it feels like right now at 11 a.m. here is like 102. So
jeez.
yeah, not ideal.
Yeah, not ideal. When are you going to be pitching?
I'm throwing tonight. Actually, we played a day game yesterday at 11. We play at 7 tonight. There's some rain in the forecast though, kind of throughout the rest of the day. So I don't really know what the timing of it all is going to be in terms of if we're going to start on time or if we're going to have to play a doubleheader tomorrow. But plans for me to go tonight.
All right, good stuff. Before we started talking about where you are right now, you mentioned Ethan Norby. Have you seen he's got a new pitch to the repertoire?
Yeah, I did. I did see that. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I did. I'm glad that he's. I think Spivey kind of set the trend for going to tread, and I followed suit just because it was one of those things where post ECU, I think it was really beneficial for us, and it's cool to see some guys that are in college now having the opportunity to go and play and be in front of those directors and stuff like that because they have really good coaches. The Spivey's or not Spivey's coach, sorry, Norby's coach is one of the best coaches over there. He's his name's Paul Hall. He works with a lot of like the high level lefties. And obviously Norby is that, and he's able to put stuff on video, and the social team showing all the work that they're putting in. And I think it's it's good that he's learning this stuff, and I hope that AK can help out and even further develop the stuff that he's learning over there, and it'll help hopefully come to fruition in the spring.
Yeah, excited to see what he does. It's crazy. Like, I mean, the season's over and it's not going to start anytime soon, but I'm kind of pumped for next year, just given how the season ended and how they came together and fought.
Yeah, I mean, we had Dixon Williams on the show, on my show earlier in the week, and he was kind of saying the same thing. Obviously, with him, it's different just because we don't know whether he's going to be back or not. But he was saying the same thing of, it got to the point at the end of the season where they kind of just honestly came together and realized, like, hey, if we don't, like, there's no more time to screw around. Like, if we don't win, we're done. And so I think having that kind of mindset of urgency and understanding, hey, if we don't play well, the season's over. And I think that kind of creates some momentum, especially with the new guys and the talent that they're bringing in from the portal going into next year.
Yeah, and a very young team this year, but Ethan Norby was on the show last week, and he kind of had the realization. He's like, "Dang, I'm a leader now." Like he's been here for 2 years, and now he's the upperclassman. At what point did that hit you when you were here at East Carolina? Like, dang, I'm the guy now. I'm the guy people are looking up to.
Um, there's bits and pieces at times. I think over the years there have been some older guys that kind of set the tone in terms of like team whole. So you think of guys like Jake Kuchmaner, you think of guys like 2022 and all. You think of guys like Jake Kuchmaner, Josh Groves, Garrett Saylor, Carter Spivey, those kind of guys, and then you have guys that are more in the weeds. I think that help guys individually. So, for example, like when Jake Hunter was a freshman and going through his struggles, like I was super close with him, so I was able to give him kind of tips and pieces and advice personally rather than Cooch and Sailor. Those guys were talking to the team as a whole, kind of motivating them. I was able to kind of be more personable, and Trey too, and those kind of guys. But I think honestly, probably the going into my senior year, I kind of had a feeling like, hey, like I'm the oldest tenured pitcher. We have so many older guys, so it's not just going to be me, which makes it a lot easier on the leadership group. And I think that was kind of the year where we figured that it was going to be a pretty big leadership group.
Yeah, Danny Beal joining us on the show today. First round of the draft last night. Cooper Flagg taking one. Hornets get Con Knipple. But the Celtics been making some trades, trying to get out of that second apron, trading away Chris Dips, Porzingis, and Drew Holiday. What do you think about those?
We need to get rid of him. That's the way it is. I mean, Drew's Holiday or Drew Holiday. Drew's contract sucks, and he's getting old. And Jeff Goodman's like, oh, he's.
What was that? You froze up there on us.
Yeah, I was about to say, did you lose me? Hold on. No, I was saying Drew's contract sucks, and we need to get rid of him. But Jeff Goodman's saying that he needs to he was falling off. He was one of our best players last year, and I think Chris stops with how injury ridden he is. It's just the contracts are back. That's all it is. And I think we got Anthony Simons back in the Drew Holiday trade, and we got some big that I've never heard of in the Chris Stapps trade, but salary dump, which is fine. In the draft last night, we got some Spaniard who's supposed to be like the second coming of LeBron James, and I'm excited to see what the plan is. I was listening to a Brad Stevens press conference this morning talking about how your first team All NBA player is in a boot for the foreseeable future, and it's one of those things where you just kind of got to figure out how to navigate it. And they're listening to trades on White and JB, and it's going to be an active offseason. It already has been for all Boston sports in terms of Devers and Brad Marchand, but I think there's more to come.
Yeah, it's crazy to think like Jason Tatum probably going to be out for the bulk of next year or maybe the entire year. Tyrese Halliburton going to be down. Damian Lillard going to be out. Who?
Kyrie tore his ACL.
Oh, dang, that's right. He just re-signed with the Mavericks, but it has me thinking the East is wide open, and I don't want to get too optimistic because I'm always let down by the Hornets, but maybe they could sneak in. Maybe they could sneak in, do some damage, man.
There is a Bulls-Hornets play-in game waiting to happen in about, 9 months. I can't wait. It's going to be great for the 17th year in a row, it feels like.
Inject it right in my veins, dude. The Heat and the Bulls are always going to be there. So, I mean, 2 spots in that play-in. I think we can get it done.
This does pave the way, though, for Giannis. If there was ever a year for him to just go absolutely ham with nobody in the East ahead of him, this would be the year. I mean, you think the Sixers, just because they had an off year, like maybe they turn it around. But Giannis is like, you think about it, the Cavs maybe, but they don't really have star power besides Donovan Mitchell. So you think this is the year where he could finally step up and kind of, put the team in his backpack.
Yeah, I like the Magic. The Bucks, I don't know. I'm not going to trust a Doc Rivers led team, but
Yeah, that's also fair.
I really like
100%.
the Magic, man. I think they can get it done, especially with that Desmond Bain trade. That adds a lot to their young
Mhm.
core.
True. Yeah, I'm being care as a dog.
One thing before we let you go, it's an unfortunate situation, but it kind of made me laugh. Former San Jose State wide receiver Chandler Jones passed away in a car accident, and I saw somebody thinking it was the defensive end Chandler Jones passed away, and it made me kind of sad until I realized it's still sad. But when I thought it was the former Patriot, former Raider Chandler Jones, made me sad. But it made me laugh because you talked about last week. I keep retweeting that video
You
of
do.
Chandler Jones taking Mac Jones' head off, and I was like, "Dang, I'm gonna have to piss Danny off again."
I mean, it was. I like Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is a great player. He was a Belichick guy, and we released him just because it's what Belichick does, and it proved to be right again, as it always is. But yeah, I didn't actually see that, but now that you say it, that would have actually really sucked if Chandler Jones, the NFL player, would have passed away.
Yeah, and I mean it is still unfortunate because somebody did die, but
Yeah, I don't want to
yeah,
downplay the fact that the other Chandler Jones passed away too. It sucks, but yeah, very funny.
yeah. Just thought that was something worth saying. But thanks for joining us, Danny. You've been recording a lot of podcasts this week. Tell the people what's coming up.
Yeah, we recorded a few. We obviously put Dixon out last week. His was a great episode. We had Jason Dietrich on, former pitching coach in 2020 and 2021. He was one of the most knowledgeable guys in the sport, nonetheless, baseball, and it goes into a lot of his coaching career and his time in East Carolina and a lot of funny stories. And then we had Garrett Saylor on after that, who's one of my closest friends from home, and it was a big mentor to me when I got here. And there were a lot of funny stories with that one. There were a lot of good talks, good memories told. A lot of Lane Hoover talk in
Yeah.
that episode, which a lot of people will find very funny. But yeah, couple new episodes coming out. We'll keep churning these out and hope you guys enjoy them when they come out.
All right, Danny. Thanks for joining us. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you.